All right, so welcome to the mini class. I hope you got your notebook and a pen. Find a spot where you're free to be alone or not be interrupted, and just be ready to answer some questions and write them out, and then I will walk you through the process of discovering what your subconscious thoughts are. Okay? All right, so we're going to start at the conscious level, then we'll look at the subconscious, then we'll go to the superconscious, and then we'll wrap this all up, okay? So get out your notebook, get in a comfortable spot, sit back, get ready to answer these questions. Now, one thing is, answer these questions as honestly as you can. Answer from a place of what is now versus what you wish it were. And then, if you need to, write out the truth as best you can write it right now. And then when this is over, maybe burn this paper if you need to, right? Just give yourself a space to know that you have confidentiality right here. I am on video, so I can't hear what you say or what you write. I can't see it. So give yourself privacy and space to just be with the things I ask you to answer here, and then just be with this experience. If you can, do it someplace where you're in private, or at least someplace you feel safe. And then if you don't want to share these information with anybody, don't. You don't have to. This is just for you. This is a moment for you to go in and look at yourself, look at your life, look at your results in a way that hopefully will be illuminating to you, so that you see that you are way more powerful than you've ever thought before. And what you accuse or blame yourself for creating in your life is not necessarily true. It's being created by your subconscious more than anything else, right? Because the conscious mind, size-wise, the conscious mind would be like the size of a grain of sand, tiny. In comparison to the subconscious, which is, if the conscious mind was the size of a grain of sand, the subconscious would be the size of like Madison Square Garden, like gigantic. And then the size of the superconscious mind would be the entire universe, right? So conscious mind, very small. The only thing in it, reason and logic and 5 senses. Subconscious, gigantic in comparison. So already the results in your life are more of a result of your subconscious than your conscious mind, because your conscious mind is small compared to the subconscious. And the superconscious, being the entire universe, that's why it can provide anything you choose. Anything. With no excuse. You could have it anything you want. So, all right, get your notebook, get your pen. The first thing I want you to do is write out 5 to 10 dreams. Dreams. And dreams as in things you want / wish for. Right? So start writing. Get at least 5. Like, I want, and you could say I want better health, but I'd say go for it. If you really, do you want better or do you want perfect? So if you want perfect health, say I want perfect health versus I just want better health. Because I'm saying I will always encourage you that you can have anything you want. You, because of your subconscious programming, would be inclined to say, well, I'd love that, but that's totally not possible. A little better would be good enough. And if at first you have to play with just a little better because you don't believe it's possible anyway, play with it there. But as you do this work, it grows to, don't just ask for what you think you can have. Ask for what you really want. Choose what you really want. So right now, spend a few minutes and write out a list of dreams. 5 to 10. Your dream for your health, for your wealth, your work, your children, your relationship, your adventure, your travel, your legacy, your family, your business, your community, your city, maybe your country, maybe the whole world. What is your dream? What are your dreams? So write those out now, 5 to 10. Now, I'm not going to sit here quietly, so if you need a few minutes to write those out, go ahead and do it. So just pause the video, write out your list, get 5 to 10, and then come back and I'll take you on. All right, so pause now if you need to. Otherwise, all right, let's assume you've got 5 to 10 dreams. And again, right now, one thing to notice is what you wrote on there your perfect dream? Or were you afraid to write what you really want? And if so, was it because something in you said, well, that's crazy, or that's too much, or I could never, right? Notice that. Don't change it if you notice it. Just notice. Is your dream a dream, or is it a little better based on what you've been able to create from before in your life? Just notice that. All right, so now you have 5 dreams. That's conscious level. That's what the conscious does. That's all it does. Choose. I choose love of my life, number 10 relationship. I choose completely healthy, perfect, vital, beautiful body. I choose my children in Ivy League schools, fully paid for with full ride scholarships. I choose to get married. I choose to get divorced. I choose to open my business and have $1 billion corporation. Right? Whatever it is. Those are your dreams. On a conscious level. Your only job consciously is to choose what you want. You just made a list of what you want. Now, to move to the next level of mind, I want you to go back to your list, however many you wrote, and make another list with each one of the first 5 to 10 dreams. So for the first dream you wrote down, write that dream down again, and then next to it, after it, write why you don't have that now. Right? So if, whatever it is, why isn't it how it is in your life? Why? Right? I want a number 10 relationship with my husband. Well, why don't I have that now? Now, watch this. Don't say because he won't do whatever it is I want him to do. Don't put it on them. Put it on you. What is it that about you that's keeping you from having that right now? If he's in the way, and you think he's in the way, then write down, I'm allowing my husband to be in my way. Right? Write that down. Or if your dream was to open my dream business and turn it into $1 billion industry. Well, write down why not. Why don't you have it? I don't have enough money. I have bad credit. I don't know how to run a business. I'm scared. I didn't go to college or whatever, right? So next to each dream, rewrite the dream, and then next to it, write, why don't you have it right now? What has stopped you? What is the reason you don't have it? All right? So right now, if you need to, stop the video and then go spend some time right now writing out why you don't have each one of those dreams. And when I say do it right now, is don't go think about this. If you're going to do this, just go right now. Just go write the list right now, because we're playing with your subconscious and it's going to say to you, do it later. This is too hard, whatever. Override that and just go answer the question. Okay? Pause the video if you need, and then go write out what's stopping you right now. All right? Pause. See you in a minute. All right. So if you paused and you wrote out what's been stopping you or what has stopped you, look at those answers before we move on. And I want you to take your answer, however you wrote out your answer, and see if you can push it a little bit further until it's just about you. It's just an I am about you. Such as, the example before was, I can't have the number 10 relationship in my life because my husband won't come to that class with me, or he won't go to therapy, or he doesn't want to have a fun wild life, right? And then I gave you the example of you could blame him, or you could make it personal and say, I don't have that number 10 because I allow him to stop me, right? So if you did that, then what is it about you that is allowing you to have that as an excuse? Why can't you not let that stop you? So it'd be something, an I am, such as like, I'm not bold, or I'm not communicative, or I'm not powerful. I can't because nobody listens to me, or I'm not enough, or I'm not lovable enough to push him to give me what I want, right? See if you can take those answers you just wrote, those reasons why you don't have what you want, and see if you can push them a moment further to an I am or an I am not, right? I'm not worthy. I am not enough. I am not powerful. I am not capable. I am not smart. I'm too bossy. I'm too, see how those are I ams? See if you can take your answers further to an I am or an I am not. All right? So one thing is, while you're doing this, if there's any of your answers that are challenging for you to take to the I am level, email us. Hook us, contact us on the website, thenewgame.org, and just say, hey, I'm doing the mini class, and I have, here's the reason I don't have what I want. How do I make this an I am or an I am not? We would love to help you figure that out. And watch this. What you got to know here is when you're writing these things down, what is popping out from this level is your subconscious beliefs. Now know this. You right now think they are true. These, if they're hard to look at these, or if your brain is going, no, this is too painful, it's because your subconscious thinks it's true. And I promise you, it is not true. It is just a belief. All right? So I know this is a challenging part of this work, because you don't want to admit these things to ourselves because we're afraid they're true. But I promise you they are not true. All right? So right now, go through all of those answers from the second question, why you don't have what you want right now, and see if you can take them all the way to an I am or an I am not. All right? Do that now. Pause if you need to, and then come back, and then we'll move on to superconscious. All right. So if you paused and you're back, know that everything you have written down so far in the second question, which is why don't you have what you want yet, the reason is there, those are your subconscious beliefs. We're starting to bring the thoughts and the beliefs that were programmed into you at a young age to the surface. Now, and trust me, if you want to argue that those are true, you would be arguing for your limitations. And I'll tell you, if you were talking to me, you will never win. Right? Remember I told you in the video before, you're an incredible, magnificent, beautiful being? Well, I guarantee none of what you think subconsciously that is less than or broken or used or incapable, any of the thoughts you could come up with, I promise they are not true. All right? So anyway, those are all your subconscious beliefs, at least starting to gurgle out. The answers to the first question, your dreams, those are your conscious thoughts. Those are your conscious dreams. It's your conscious mind doing its job, choosing. Your subconscious, know this, whatever you've written so far that seems like it's coming from limit or lack, it's doing its job too. Those are just subconscious beliefs. They are in play in your life and in your subconscious to keep you safe. Because it thinks if you go outside of these beliefs right here, you're going to get hurt. However, I promise you, if you go outside of these beliefs, take action on those conscious dreams you've written first, the superconscious will be able to activate and will keep you safe, will lead you to success and allow you to be happy and joy-filled and live in bliss. That's what it does. So let's go to the superconscious right now. Now listen, I live in a neighborhood filled with dogs, so if you're hearing dogs, just ignore them. It's good practice and focus. one thing that will benefit us all these days is to have better focus. We're all so distracted. So I look at issues like the dogs barking outside as not a challenge, but an opportunity to practice focus. All right. But just know, I hear them too. I actually have a house full right now, and they're all being very good and quiet. So good job, Blue and Sophie. All right. Hollywood's downstairs, or she'd be here wanting to bark too. Okay, so let's go to the superconscious level. All right. Now, let's just look at this. Now I'm going to talk about superconscious, which is God, creator, infinite intelligence, source, whatever you call God, whatever your relationship was to that. Or if you're an atheist and you say there is nothing bigger, there is nothing else in charge, okay, well, cut your hand with a little scissor right now and then wait a week and that thing will heal. So what is that intelligence that is built into our world, into this universe, that allows that to happen? How is this happening? Something is going on here. That is a life force that works. There is a process and a strategy to how life works. Whatever you call it, I don't care. I know it works. So, do you think that, well, let me just ask you this. Whatever you call that bigger power, that bigger life force, do you think that it would agree with you about the answers you wrote to the second question? Like if you write out, I am not enough, do you think it would agree with that? I don't deserve it. Do you think it is saying I don't deserve it? Now, one challenge in the world is that there are so many different perspectives on what is that? What is it called? Whose God is the right God, right? Which process to get to it or interact or relate with it is the right one? That's the question. And I am not going to address it ever because it's none of my business what you think. It's none of your business what I think. However, what I know is it works. Why it works is if my hand gets cut, it heals. When a woman gets pregnant, a baby is born from her body. Right? In the fall, the trees drop their leaves and reseed so life keeps occurring. We live on a spinning ball floating in the middle of nothing that's filled with magma and lava that's burned. If you touch it, you burn. Right? Stars and seas and storms and fish and freaking dinosaurs. I mean, okay, let's engage that at that level. So when I say superconscious, I don't need to believe in the superconscious. Why? Because I have chosen consciously bigger than I ever thought possible. I have done the work on my subconscious to allow me to go get the amazing dream I wrote down. And every time I do that, and I with courage and bravery and trust and support step out and take actions that have been scary in my life before based on my subconscious beliefs, what's happened every single time is you will never believe what happened. It's like it was like handed to me from the divine, as if its job was to provide anything I chose. So my relationship with the superconscious is every time I call on it, it shows up. I do not pray for things that don't come. I create what I choose as an expression of that divine. And every time I do that and ignore my family, my friends, my world, my subconscious telling me I can't, it provides and I create the result that I chose consciously. And I do it now in my life today. I years ago got over getting big goals because I wanted them. Because I did. I went and got everything I wanted. But today I still set big goals that challenge my beliefs of who I am, because that's me showing up. And when I show up like that, it shows up. And when it shows up, I get to have a relationship with it. So I have an intimate relationship with the superconscious. And with all that said, I would say this. If your answer to my question of, do you think God wants you to have what you want, and you think that God doesn't want you to have what you want, or is judging you as not enough or not good enough or trying to punish you, then I would say get a different God. That's a messed up relationship. That's a sucky God that's judging you. Right? Because apparently it made you, and I'll tell you, it made you perfect. And whose dream do you think it is in the first place? I think it's divinely directed. I think you're supposed to be here. There's a reason for you. And I think that thing is on your side. So from that perspective, go through your list subconsciously of what all you wrote down as to why you don't have what you want yet. And now let's start a third list, which is, what would God say about that? Would God say, if you wrote, I am not enough, write down now, what would God say? You are enough. You're more than enough. Right? If you have, I don't know what your relationship is with the divine or what you call that. However, if it's more helpful, think of somebody who adores you and loves you. Maybe that's your mom. Maybe it's your nanny when you were little. Maybe it's your best friend. Maybe it's your husband, your brother, your sister, your children. Or if you have children, think about from the perspective of, I want you to answer this third list from a perspective of you, the parent, looking at your child. When they're born, they are perfect. You want them to have everything they've ever wanted. You want them to be loved. You see them as totally lovable, brilliant, courageous, loving, forgive, everything. You see them as perfect. So I want you to write this third list from that perspective about you. Okay? So everything you wrote to the second question, which is the reasons you don't have what you want. I am not smart. I am not enough. I am not worthy. I want you to write now a third list. For each one of those, write, what would it say? What would God say? What would the one who believes in you and loves you more than anybody else, more than you, say? You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are brilliant. You are capable. Write those down. Write down one for each one of your dreams, and which will be the same as each one of the reasons you don't have your dreams. All right, so go do that now. Write down your superconscious list of what is true about you through the eyes of one who loves and believes in you more than anybody else. All right, do that now. So pause if you need to. All right, so welcome back if you did that. Or if you're not doing it and you're just watching this must look funny because I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting a moment. So anyway, if you're just watching this and you're going to do it later, you're funny. And you're like me, because I would probably do that too. What's important isn't when you do it, it's that you do this. Okay? So now you have three lists. You have a conscious list, doing its job, choosing. There's your dream. You have a second list, which is your subconscious list. These are subconscious beliefs programmed into your subconscious. I am not enough. I am not worthy. I am not deserving. I am not beautiful. I am not strong. I am not capable. I am not forgiving. I am not brilliant. I am not lovable. I am not happy. I am not healthy. I am not wealthy. Whatever they are, that's your list of subconscious beliefs about yourself, other people, or the world. You could look at that list and, if you want, look at it and realize which thoughts on that subconscious list are about you, which ones are about other people, because maybe it's I can't trust people, or you can't trust people, right? Which thoughts are about other people and which thoughts are about the world. Maybe one of your reasons you don't have a dream is that the world doesn't want it. So the world is an uncaring place, would be the belief that you have, right? Those are just beliefs. And then you have a third list, which is your superconscious mind. That's the truth. Like, it sees who you truly are. It's not judging you. It's not questioning you. If anything, it's the biggest cheerleader ever. Like, hey, I got all this stuff to provide you. I need you to choose it, And I want you to be happy and healthy and live life. That's why you're there. So you have all three levels of mind. And I want you to notice this in your superconscious list. No matter what your first feeling is about what you've written, if you've written, I am lovable, and you subconsciously your whole life have felt you weren't, even possibly lived an experience where it looks like what is being told to you is you're not lovable, I want you to just look at that third list and notice that somewhere in you, somewhere in your life, somewhere in your day, that thought is somewhere deep inside there. If you can get in touch with your total essence and look inside and really tell the truth deep down to yourself, you do know those things are true. That superconscious list is true about you. It's going to take me telling you this right now, that the list you made second, why you don't have what you want right now, those are not true about you. They are not. Also, again, if you want to argue with me about any of the points, I would love to discuss it with you. So contact us. Go to thenewgame.org and contact us and say, I want to talk to Dak about this because I insist this is true about me. And he says he will disagree. I don't even need to know you to disagree. So there's your three levels of mind. And you are, chances are, ignoring the superconscious ones. They can't affect you yet because subconscious is in the way. And conscious mind, often our dreams get smaller because it hurts to want something you secretly don't think you can have. So our dreams get smaller. But there are things you want. If there's nothing you wanted in the first question, then you're lying. There's stuff you want. Maybe you're not totally lying. Maybe you just have a life experience that says, I can't. So you didn't even write it there. Or you wrote it and you just don't believe it. But there are things you want. If you are not I'll tell you, if you're not waking up in the morning ecstatic for your day, grateful to eternity that you're you and you're here and you get to experience life, and when you go out, you're openly expressive, you're authentically yourself no matter what environment, and everything you have in your life is exactly how you want it. Everything. And I'm talking your world too, right? Maybe you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company right now. Maybe you're extremely wealthy. Maybe you have a brilliant family. Maybe maybe you're the hot one on the beach. Maybe you have 10 organizations of nonprofits that are impacting the world. Great, but guarantee you, we need you more than anybody to say, wait, let's bring this to the world. Does the world that you look at, when you look at the whole world, is that the dream that you would have for it? Because if not, that's where your work is now, is out there. And if that's true, go to the second question. Why don't you have that right now? Well, who's going to listen to me? I'm not big enough to impact the whole world. And then I'll say, answer the third question. What would it say? Yes, you are. Right? So now you have these three lists. I'm going to just check here. Yeah, there you go. So there's your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your superconscious mind. If there are things in your first list of answers that you want, and you want to go create them, the work we do will support you in going and creating those. The list that you've made second is truly why you don't have what you want, but they're not true. That's where we start the work. We do the work in the subconscious. And what you wrote as the truths from the superconscious, those are definitely true about you. If there's anything negative written in there or judgmental, that is not true. That is man's, other people's perspectives sneaking into your belief of who you are and what is. So, with that said, what you do next would be contact us. If you want to engage this and be able to create what you wrote in your first list, contact us, because that's what we do. And we do it quick and fast. We do it with fun and joy and love and connection. That's what we do. I've been teaching people the process of how to use this to create what you want in your life for 20 years, and it has created magnificent results in every person's life who has engaged the process, right? So I teach 2 classes, and then we have a game that you can play. We have a few things. So we walk you through teaching it to you and then putting it into action. What you need is support from friends and, people that are on your side, cheerleaders. You need direction, information to know the process. It's easy and fun. Go check out thenewgame.org. You can sign up for the first class, or go find more of these video series with the little mini class and start doing the work. The thing is, you have to start doing the work. There's a difference. I'll end with this. There's a difference between knowing something and knowing about it. All right? The difference is, if you just know something, chances are you don't have the result from that knowledge. I'm sorry. When you know, I did it all backwards. When you know about something, knowing about something is, oh, I watched that guy's videos. I know about that. I know about it. And many people will say, I know this, when they just know about it. Knowing it is when you have created the result in your life from it, right? So you now know about the conscious mind, the subconscious and the superconscious. You know about this. The way you'll know it is to go get all of those goals that you wrote down in answer 1. That's how you'll know it. You will know it. And I'm telling you, from doing this process, the one thing better than anything to know on this whole list is the superconscious. To know that you are worthy to choose and then have it. Because it can be that simple. I didn't know this years ago until I started doing this work myself as a student, and blew my mind with how much more I was than I had ever thought. The mind is the most powerful thing we have that creates our reality. And finding out what's in that subconscious is the step 1 to living your life in the dream that you wrote first. What's also fun is when you do this work, the answers to question 1 get bigger and bigger and bigger. When I first started this work 20 years ago, my goal was to make like $500. A year into it, it was $5,000. 2 years into it, it was $50,000. 5 years into it, $500,000. 500 to 5 million. 5 million to 50 million. It just gets bigger. And not because I want more, but because I keep discovering I am so much more than I've ever thought. And so are you. All right, contact us if you need help, if you need support, you want to sign up and play with us and have us support you and teach you how to go through this process and live your dream life. Just know you deserve it. And if you don't remember anything from this whole series, remember this. You are a beautiful, incredible, magnificent being. Your job is to choose what you want, and you deserve to have it. And you can. There is a way, and it's understanding and using your thoughts in your mind to create your dream life. Okay, see you soon.